Recently, Yellowstone Universe made headlines once again as a brand new sequel was announced with the title The Madison. This announcement confirmed three speculations we have been talking about for about a year. First, the Yellowstone sequel will follow the events right after the original show's finale. Second, Michelle Pfeiffer will be leading the series. Third, and perhaps the most shocking, Kurt Russell will be the other lead. Now, this puts yet another highly expected Yellowstone project, 1944, into a difficult situation simply because Russell's name was on the talks for this specific show. However, now that he is cast in The Madison, everything has changed in 1944. So, without further ado, let's see who will star in the newest Yellowstone prequel series. What will it be about, and when will it be out? In the upcoming months, we can look forward to 4 new releases in the Yellowstone franchise. First up is the final season of the original series that will be out on November 10th, 2024. Then, we have the highly anticipated second season of 1923, which will be out in spring 2025. Next is the first sequel series titled The Madison, which will be out, again, in spring 2025. And finally, there's 1944, which might seem like yet another prequel, but promises to be much more. Let me know which Yellowstone release you are most excited about. For those who've been following the Yellowstone franchise, the prequel started with 1883, which, along with 1923, explored American history through the Dutton family's experiences in Montana. We've seen their journey from Tennessee to Montana, the founding of their ranch, and the challenges they faced, including tragic losses and family disputes. 1923 is still ongoing, but 1944 will pick up the story from there, leading us through the Dutton family's World War II years. One theory suggests that the show will explore the later years of Spencer and Alexandra Dutton, or perhaps introduce us to a new branch of the Dutton family tree. Another theory is that it will follow Jack and Elizabeth Dutton as they raise Spencer and Alexandra's son, who would eventually become John Dutton's father. Either way, it will be set against the backdrop of World War II, and this era will heavily influence the narrative, showing us how the war impacted the Duttons and shaped the environment in which John Dutton II grew up, a major factor in the upbringing of the John Dutton we know today. Which theory is more likely to happen in your opinion? Can't wait to hear your thoughts about it. World War II is particularly significant because Taylor Sheridan has previously explored the Duttons' involvement in earlier conflicts. For instance, in 1883, we watched how the Civil War impacted the Duttons. Or in 1923, we saw Spencer Dutton's experiences in World War I and how post-war trauma affected him. 1944 will likely delve even deeper into these themes, with the war playing a central role in the story. We know that historically, Montana's ranches, including the Yellowstone Ranch, were crucial in supplying food for the war effort, especially beef. This could lead to a portrayal of the Dutton Ranch's golden age, a time when the family prospered in Montana. Plus, we know that during World War II, many young men from Montana were drafted, leading to labor shortages on the ranches. This situation required women and older workers to step in, which could highlight the roles of Dutton women in 1944, offering a glimpse into the roots of characters like Beth Dutton. Additionally, Montana was home to several military training facilities during the war, which could bring military activity to Yellowstone and influence the storyline. It's also possible that some Dutton men will return to the ranch as war veterans, with John Dutton II potentially being a central character dealing with post-war trauma. This could shed light on how the war shaped John Dutton's childhood. Are you excited to find out more about John Dutton's childhood? I'm dying to learn more about him. As far as the casting is concerned, we should look back on the speculations and leaks from the behind the scenes of the franchise. Because let's be honest, so far every single rumor about the franchise has been confirmed in one way or another. So it is likely that yet another speculation will be confirmed for 1944 as well. We know that Sheridan wanted Matthew McConaughey to be included in the franchise more than anyone else. However, it seems like the money problems interrupted the negotiations, at least for the sequel series. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that this is the end of the road for McConaughey's Yellowstone journey. Since Kurt Russell was speculated for 1944 but cast in The Madison, the vice versa can happen for McConaughey. Behind the scenes, McConaughey is rumored to be cast for 1944, despite all the monetary challenges. For the rest of the cast, we should look back to 1923. Given that 1944 is set just over 20 years after 1923, we might see some of the younger characters from 1923 appear in the new prequel series. Jack and Elizabeth Dutton are expected to be key figures in their older versions, and Alexandra could also return. Which 1923 character would you like to see the most in 1944? My vote is for Alexandra. The reason 1944 is so crucial to the Yellowstone franchise's future is that it will build on a story we already know and love. Because we've already connected with the prequels, it's easier to get hooked on 1944. But if it turns out to be a flop, it could mean the end of the Yellowstone saga. This can't be said for the new sequel series, The Madison, which is a fresh concept that Yellowstone fans haven't experienced yet. That's why 1944 is the most critical release in the franchise. It will either pave the way for future spin-offs or mark the end of the road for Yellowstone and the Duttons. As far as the release date is concerned, the show is expected to be out around September 2025, after 1923 Season 2 wraps up. This date suggests that there might be a change in the show's title, as we all know Sheridan loves to release prequel series in their respective years. So it was titled 1944, assuming that it would be out within 2024, exactly 80 years after the date the show was set. Now that the release date will be 2025, to hit that 80-year mark, the show might be retitled as 1945. If you are excited to learn more about 1944 and other Yellowstone shows, make sure to like and follow. See you in the next one.